Everybody, welcome back to the Apartment E3 podcast. Happy, well, I mean, kind of a little bit early, but
happy
Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's, right?
Valentine's?
Is it Valentine's Day?
I think it's Valentine.
I know, I'm kidding.
Oh. When is it? In 2 more days?
Yep, it's Thursday. What's the deal with this thing over here?
Mine was all wobbly too.
There you go. No, I just think I need to adjust the EQ or something. I feel like it's lacking in the booty. At the base, as it were, the bottom end.
Oh.
Get it? The booty, the bottom.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
The tone. It sounds, or maybe that's just the way I sound.
Huh. Side note.
Could be that I'm nasally. Oh,
you
no, there we go. It's, I don't know.
I noticed this. Only musicians really kind of do this. Put it on the left.
It says left.
That's what I mean. Like they only do it the right way. And I noticed that. I'm not poking fun at Mr. Rogan or anything like that, but I noticed a lot of the podcast dudes don't give a fuck. They just throw the headphones on.
Well, he has a different kind. I don't know if his are the same.
Well, the only reason I know this is because when he had Barker on, Barker had put it on with the cord on the left, and I was like, oh, okay, those definitely have the left and right thing going.
Yeah.
But it was just really funny to see that, and I was like, oh, you could tell the musicians from people who aren't musicians.
Yeah, you can tell people who've used these headphones or been in a radio studio, they're like, oh, which left? Okay, that's the blue side. Okay, that goes on there.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's so funny. I think that's kind of sweet, though.
Yeah.
Just how...
It's just, I don't know. I've always paid attention to it. I mean, the thing's broadcast in mono. It's just the two voices, so it's not like, a stereo broadcast, but I still kind of go, nah. But they're also, if you look at the sides, this is really dumb. Sorry, everybody. They're actually curved so that you should wear them that way, so this sits at the back of your head.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're sitting forward on the top of your head, and it just feels weird.
That's really funny, though.
Yeah.
And then also, for instance, producer, when you're listening to music, it's probably a good thing to wear it the right way, because a lot of producers, for instance, drums, they'll be like, do you want it you're behind the drum kit, or do you want it you're looking at it?
The mixed perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if people wear the headphones backwards, you're not getting the full effect.
See, what's really weird to me that I've always noticed about the way that I mix is I mix drums from the drummer's perspective, if you're right-handed, so the hats and stuff are on the left, which is the opposite of how every right-handed drummer appears to people when they're when they're viewing them from the crowd. When they're and mixing them backwards from that, it's difficult for me because I'm not used to it.
Yeah, it's on the right side when you're looking at it, but it's stage left.
Right, exactly. And so when I mix, I'm like, oh yeah, the hat's over here. So I'm mixing as though I'm behind the kit. I actually have to flip it 180 so that it's actually, the opposite way, because otherwise it doesn't make sense.
That's kind of funny, but I know Feldman does it where you're looking at it. You can hear it. For the mix, when you're tracking. Okay, so when you're the drummer behind the kit, he's got it mixed from your perspective. Probably, right? Yes.
But when he mixes it for the mix, if you're a right-handed drummer, he wants it to be how it would be on the stage. So when I listen to a Snapcase record, I know that Frank's on the right side of the stage as you're looking at it, John's on the left, and that's how they're set up. Same thing with Jordan.
So fucking sick.
Same thing with Jordan and Andy. From every time, Andy's on the right side as you're looking at it, Jordan's on the left. That's how they're mixed. So,
dude, that is so fucking cool.
Little things that I always paid attention to. But again, when mixing, I go, oh yeah, so I'm mixing because I'm behind the kit. So where's it supposed to sit? No, idiot, you got to flip that 180.
That's so crazy. Dude, speaking of music and stuff like that, dude, that Samick plays so nice.
Does it?
It plays really nice.
For a guitar that cost me next to nothing, it's a tight piece.
I'm like, yo, it's a piece of Nick Huber, and then
Did I just say a tight piece?
But it's funny. It's nice to have a guitar that's from a guitar player. It's set up by a guitar player and stuff like that.
I had Pete take care of it. Pete Schmid do it. And
but even you, it's like your guitar. You know what I mean? A guitar player, where I have my Epiphone, and it was my Epiphone, but it just didn't play like your fucking Samick. I was just like, oh.
It's one of those post lawsuit copies, so that's the body shape's all kind of wonky. I hate that word, wonky, but it's wonky. The horn is a little shorter. It's more stubby.
I didn't know. I haven't noticed.
I have. It drives me insane. But it plays really nice, and like I said, even over my actual Gibson, it sounds better than any guitar I've ever owned.
I can't wait I need to. Do you have a guitar cable I can borrow?
Did you don't have one?
No, I thought I did. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah, I gotta have one I can let you borrow.
like even like a short one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
I'll have something.
Like one of those like 1930s with the coil.
I don't own those. Those are bullshit.
Those are awesome though.
Those are terrible. Oh my god, it's like watching Hendrix play, and he had the full Marshall stack behind him, and it was just a single cable going up with no effects or.
And he could barely walk, and it was like stretched from to the mic.
Didn't even have any EQ pedals.
Like one of those
what is this bullshit?
Old telephones. Right. That people would walk through the whole house. With
my
the cord.
parents still have that with like a 25-foot cord.
That's
in the,
great.
In the kitchen.
You're gonna walk upstairs.
You can walk around the living room through the kitchen.
When they get pissed at you, they let it go and it would just fly down the stairs. But dude, there's a video of you bringing up Hendrix reminded me. There's a video of BB King. He breaks a fucking guitar string on stage.
I've seen it.
That is the coolest thing in the world. And
he's still singing, right? And as he's singing, the band's still playing, and he's restringing his guitar.
And he's having a good time, still playing. And all I kept thinking about is singing dudes who get fucking pissed that their bullshit microphone is broken or some bullshit, and they get pissed at the tech or some garbage. And I keep thinking about BB King. It's like the dude just gonna hand him a new guitar. No, just give me the string.
Yeah, I'll just string it.
Change it. No, you're cool.
I got it. And he kept singing the song.
It's so awesome.
The band was in the pocket and grooving. He's just like, and whatever he was doing.
Nobody will ever be that cool.
No, dude. God, that guy was amazing.
No. That was awesome. That was so sick seeing him.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yeah,
BB King.
Oh, shit. We should listen. I'm going to listen to BB King all day today.
Yeah.
That is it.
That's good. That's fucking great.
I'm going to get super fucking stoned. Throw some eye drops in, and I'm gonna go to work.
I never got to see him live, and I think he came to Buffalo once or twice.
That's cool.
But do I know somebody that sat stage side while he played the last time he was here? I feel like I do know somebody who did that, which had to be amazing, just to sit on the side of the stage while he's playing.
Yeah, I had a drum tech from England. He was Scottish. I can't remember his fucking name though. I don't know. It hurts my feelings. But we had Darius, who was our sound guy, and Laurie, who was our tour manager, but I can't remember the drum tech's name. But he was a super Scottish redheaded dude, and he wore a kilt, and it would be negatives. Was there underwear under the kilt? Yeah, he was like a fucking old man, dude. Like he wore boots, like you imagine they look in Braveheart. It's kind of what he looked like. Yes, literally, but he had underwear though, like those fucking Harley Davidson motorcycle boots. You know what I mean? Like those Terminator boots. Yeah. He was just like one of those like metal dudes. And he was telling me a story. I think there's a guy in this building who wears a kilt. Like in this side of my building. Yeah, he was like straight full-blown Scottish or whatever it is. No, I think this guy just wears a kilt. Oh, well, that's not cool. And he might be Scottish. Like I've seen a dude around my building wearing a kilt, and I'm pretty sure he lives in my building. That's so sick. I want to like see that dude. That dude was so cool. My drums sounded amazing. But he wasn't just your tech. Did he do the sound for your drums too? Yeah, he was my drum tech. He was your drum tech. Okay. Yeah, like he just. So he didn't mix it though, but no, did he place the mics and everything and all that shit? Okay, he did all that. He knows this is the spot to put. That's it right. On. They were the dudes that were a part of our crew in England. Like they were old men pissed that they had to fucking work for a bunch of 16-year-olds. Do you know what I mean? Like I think you've mentioned this where you're like you were just always really cool. It's like, hey man, you tried to learn everybody's name and engage with them and stuff, and I'm not just some asshole. Old men, and they were pissed. And like pissed to the point, dude. Like, I was like, I woke up. I feel like waking up super early has always been a thing. I don't know, but I was up super fucking early, and our sound guy Darius was up, and I was like, "Oh, what's up, Darius?" And I gave him the peace sign. Oh, and he got fucking pissed at me because you did it this way. Yeah, and I was like, "What does that mean?" And he told me all about it. I was like, "Oh shit, I had no idea." You didn't even know the history of it? No idea. So you know what it is now, right? Yeah, I do know what it is now, but I had no fucking clue. And like, he's like, "You really mean that?" Because he was that old. He thought I was like... All right, so for anybody who doesn't know, because you can't see us because we're not on video yet, the difference between the peace sign in the U.S. where you have your palm facing out and the peace sign turned around with the back of your hand facing toward the person in England is that second one is basically like giving them the middle finger. Yeah. And the reason that is was it World War I, right? No, it goes further back. So when they archery. Okay. It was archery? Okay. Yeah. I thought it went back to the rifles. So no. So from what I understood... From what I had been taught, and I think this was in high school, we were taught this by our social teacher, Mr. Sellers. Remember Mr. Sellers, Paul Sellers? I think it sounds familiar. I don't know. He'd always talk about his wife Phyllis. He had glasses, real goofy. Paul Sellers was great. Phyllis. So he explained that
I want to say it was World War I, when the enemy would capture, when the Germans would capture English soldiers. It might have been before that too. The rifles back in the day were super hard to pull the trigger. You basically could only do it with your index finger or your middle finger. So they would cut off their index and middle fingers so they couldn't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So the idea of how it's fuck you is that when you put up those two fingers, palm out, or rather back of the hand out, it's like, I have my fingers, go fuck yourself.
But this is actually like really fucking
I could be wrong,
perfect.
but I'm pretty sure that's about the long and the short of it.
It goes further back than World War II.
Okay, yeah, you were saying archery.
Like archery, like the medieval days, like between Scotland and England.
Wow. Wow, that's
so archers would they would kill each other, and then, but if they were captured, they'd cut off the fingers.
Because you can't.
So, but then at the same time, so an archer would kill one of their friends, and then be like, hey, check it out, I got 2 fingers. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how that whole thing started.
Okay, so it goes that far back.
Yeah, it goes way far back.
Maybe they told us about that, and the rifle thing stuck in my head.
But you just got the American version of it.
Maybe, yeah, I guess so.
No offense to Mr. Sellers or anybody's education or anything like that, but like,
and we only know what we know here.
But what's really funny is that same fucking night and that same run and tour and stuff like that. He told me about this, and we had to cross over to Scotland, and it was the hatred between Scotland and England is pretty deep, like pretty.
It's
bad.
Still pretty bad from what I understand.
Yeah,
right?
like you know how like crossing into the Canada is like okay, and then but when you come back into the States, like, what are you doing? Why are you here? Why were you in Canada? It's like, I'm on Tinder, bro. What the fuck? So it's like,
no, man, I'm drug running. No, I'm just running hose.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like,
holy shit. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
But like, so we're sitting there, we're fucking and he just took all of our drugs and shit and bumped the heat up, crossing over to Scotland from England, and like the dog went nuts, and it passed out from heat exhaustion.
Wait, I'm not following.
Like we had to cross over into England from Scotland, and it's super bad that they had to.
So he took your drugs and hid them?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the tour manager took the drugs and hid them, and then bumped the heat up on the bus. I'm doing a really bad job explaining this because.
So if the bus is really hot.
The bus is really hot. The dog passes out.
It's that hot that the dog passes out?
The dog passes out. The dog is a giant German Shepherd, and
I'm feeling like if a dog passes out, people are fucking passing out.
Well, the dog went nuts immediately. Like, it hopped on the bus and started going to work.
Okay.
And it just passed out. It was the scariest moment of all of our lives. But the dude who walked on the bus picks up the dog and looked at Lori and was like, started nodding, and they walked off.
Knew exactly what the deal was?
Yeah.
Just knew what was going on?
Because, like I said, those dudes have been touring.
So they probably even know who each other are.
Yeah, but the original point of this story is the tour or our drum tech was telling me a story about how he played a show with fucking Ray Charles, and he went to use the bathroom, and Elvis or somebody walked by, and everybody went nuts, and he got pushed into the bathroom, and Ray Charles was there, and he was like, "Oh, is that somebody walking by?" And like something like, but it was just like kind of like a crazy story to hear that from somebody else from like fucking England.
Yeah,
it was just kind of cool to hear, but I don't know why we started talking about that. BB King.
Oh, well, yeah, BB King.
Yeah, but just meeting Ray Charles, that would be so sick.
Is meeting somebody, something about tour, something about peace, the fingers.
Yeah.
Not that bad, guys. We're definitely way more coherent than last episode. Far more coherent than last episode.
So funny. We're moving on, I would say.
Yeah, I think we're moving forward. Dude.
Mentally.
I was just thinking about this. I think this morning. So, remember when you were in school, like middle school, high school, stuff, but specifically middle school? Because you went to Sweet Home, right? You went to the same district and everything.
Glendale.
England, right. You're about 10 years younger than me, give or take.
I'm about to be 31 in April. They drew a 31. He asked for a 13, and he drew a 31. That's all I've been thinking about.
Because you're going to be 31. So you're like 9 years younger than me. Did you still have shop class in middle school?
We had technology.
Okay, and what did that... Right, they rebranded it, quote unquote. So what did that entail, though? Were you still doing like work with wood and stuff?
Yeah,
and shit
I
like
made a flower pot holder, a mirror.
Okay.
A yo-yo with Mr. Sandusky.
Okay, Mr. Sandusky. Right.
And that's all I can remember.
Did you work with any metal?
No metal.
You did no metal.
We played SimCity, which I could not figure out.
Jesus Christ. So you didn't work with metal at all?
Didn't work with metal.
Did you make any stamps, like a rubber stamp, like where you do the typesetting?
We did that in art.
You did that in art. Okay, we did that in tech.
Huh. You know what else they didn't fucking teach us in high school? How to do taxes.
Right. For our conversation in the car about teaching to the test and how fucked the education system is in this country and how it penalizes everybody rather than tries to help them.
I mean,
and that's the reason I ask, is because you were talking about that, and I thought I remember being in middle school. I don't have a lot of memories of my childhood. I have like enough, and people hear that and go, "Oh, that sucks." Like, it doesn't. I don't know. It's fine. It's whatever.
It sucks. No, it doesn't.
It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the best. It was all right. I had a lot of fun times. I remember those. It's like the other shit. Like I kind of spotty on, but I remember, making the stamp, like typesetting, like old school fucking lead type, where you put the letters in order and there was the spacers and stuff, and you made a rubber stamp that you would put into like an ink pad, and then like they do at the DMV.
That's fucking thing, right? Cool.
Like you made your name or whatever.
No, they're probably like, no.
We did that. We did some metal bending where I think I actually made a toolbox. It was a shallow toolbox out of like sheet metal where you bent it and stuff, and you used like a spot welder and shit. They don't teach any of that stuff anymore, dude.
How to build an engine. Oh, you know what? I remember in high school though, we built a part of a roller coaster.
Oh, that's neat. I didn't do any of the tech class in high school. I didn't do any of those electives. I took the art electives instead, I think.
Oh, crazy.
I think. I know that I didn't do any of that stuff.
Talking about all this stuff sort of makes me want to go back to school and stuff like that. But like, it's just like, I don't know.
I've been back and forth on that for a while. I don't know if I do, it's not going to be to go in the shop class and learn how to rebuild an engine.
Yeah, I don't. Although that would be a lot of fun. Clip shift.
Oh, nice. There was a kid who was 2 years older than me, I want to say. And I can't remember his name. Ray something. I can see him.
Ray Liotta.
No. Bigger dude. When I say bigger, he was a large build gentleman.
Ray Romano's brother.
No. Who was somewhat rotund, but he was really strong. And he didn't do great in most academics.
Except
wasn't somebody technology. Shop specifically, he wasn't and he wasn't mathematically inclined or athletically inclined. But because he worked on all of the teachers' cars, basically just for the cost of parts, they all gave him like passing grades.
That's fucking cool.
I don't remember, his first name was Ray. I can't remember his last name.
Oh, see, that's like...
Fat kid would know who I'm talking about. My friend Scott would know who I'm talking about. But that was the rumor. I barely knew the dude, but he would, because he'd do all the work on the This is the rumor, everyone, by the way. This is back in... I graduated...
28 years later.
22 years ago, I graduated. It's been a long time. I guarantee you every one of those teachers is retired.
Maybe.
I wonder what the statute of limit... No, I'm pretty sure, dude. Toward the end of my stay in Sweet Home, almost all those teachers were on their way out. They were all retiring. Because they'd been in their 20, 25 years. They were getting bought out of their contracts. And a lot of them were just retiring. Some of them retired in the middle of my senior year. Like, they finished that first semester because some of the classes were broken into semester, and they would finish it, and then Mr. Rydell, piece of shit, didn't like him, sorry. He was an English teacher.
Mr. Rydell sounds like a dick.
He could have been a nice dude, but he wasn't. He ended up retiring after I had English 12 or whatever the fuck it's called.
How are you going to be a fucking teacher but be a huge asshole?
By the time you are ready to retire, I'm guessing you've seen so many dicks come in and out of your classroom that you're just so ready to be done with them that you're just jaded at everything, and they can't fire you because you're tenured, and as long as you don't fuck up, you're not going anywhere.
See,
he might have started with a passion for teaching. 30 years later, he might have been ready to kill somebody.
I guess
I don't begrudge him that. He just when I had him, he wasn't a good teacher. I was a shitty student too, by the way, not because I did things to disrupt the class or whatever. I wasn't good at school.
Yeah, I wasn't
good in school at all.
Mr. Hausman thought I purposely was doing bad to piss him off.
Right. They take it personally. Like, why are you doing this?
No.
Imagine now if they had to teach to the standards they have to teach now, where if the kids don't get the grades they need to get, the school loses funding. Imagine if that was the case. They take it real fucking personally, I bet.
Oh, how stupid do you have to be like, you're not doing that? I can't be the only one that's not fucking doing the work. You know what I mean?
I remember kids that were so much worse than me as far as their inability to concentrate, and they were disruptive to the class and stuff because they didn't know how to teach us that they would I'm talking first grade.
Yeah.
They would put this one kid in the corner and put a giant cardboard accordion around him, like like a 6-foot tall cardboard accordion around him, so he was secluded from the rest of the class, so he would concentrate on his work. And it never worked because that's not what you do for kids like that.
No, then he was alone in his own fucking corner.
But in the mid-'80s, when I was in the first grade, they didn't fucking know how to deal with that shit.
No.
They had no clue how to deal with that stuff.
I got in trouble once, and I had to sit at a cubicle, and I remember enjoying it.
Yeah. I would get put on, so for me, I wasn't as bad as this kid. He was way more hyperactive than I was. So they would just do the thing where they'd push my desk off to the side a little bit and then put the little cardboard cubicle thing on top of my desk.
Yeah.
But I would look around it and go, hey, what's going on over there, guys? Get behind! Do your work! I don't know what I'm doing over it. Well, I'm busy with all these other kids who know what they're doing!
You're just... Oh.
What was it that John Mulaney said? There were 2 math... He's a couple years younger than me. There were 2 math classes. And in his I think it was somewhere in like the 5th grade, somewhere in that kindergarten through 5th grade class. And he goes, and it's in one of his specials. And he goes... There was the first group, which was called the Blue Angels, after the famous flying, Navy pilots. These super, high-end, really crazy, talented people, right?
Uh-huh.
And then there was Group 2. He goes, I was in Group 2. Now, before you get upset, we got to pick our own name. We decided to call ourselves Group 2.
Group 2.
That was me. I was in Group 3. Like, it was so bad, dude. It was terrible. It was bad, but whatever, I got funny stories now. Functional enough. I figured out how to do my taxes using TurboTax. A little bit. You have a little bit different situation. We won't get into it, but
it's weird.
It's just like, you were texting me and I'm just like, dude, I don't fucking know how to, I've never had anything with the IRS.
Because I'm just trying to figure it out. And I'm just,
By the way, we make no money from this podcast. So there's no income that comes in that needs to be taxed, guys. There's zero. You can look for a trail. There's none. I'm so poor. I got a bankrupt. Don't even fucking worry about it. But it just, being in school just wasn't my favorite thing.
No.
It was a social, my mom would go, it's just a social event for you. I'm like, yeah, that's what it is.
I don't like it.
And it wasn't a revelation. That was like, yeah, no, that's exactly all it is. I don't like being here. I have my friends and I have a good time, but I get picked on. They don't know how to teach to me. I don't know how to. I didn't figure out till much later. I was around 27 when I went back to college after failing out of a 2-year school.
Then I figured out how to learn.
Yeah, as I got older, I went, okay, I know what my you begin to realize what your limitations are.
Yeah.
If you really, when I went back, I did 5 semesters. I got a 4.0 all 5 semesters in a row. Finished out my my associates, and was the first person to graduate from that certificate program that they created for audio engineering specifically at N-Trip. That's pretty awesome. That was like 9 years ago that I graduated. But I went back in knowing, look, this is your dime now. This is on you. This is you proving to yourself, fuck everybody else. And I was able to do it. And I was working 35, 40 hours a week at Cheesecake, and I still had my daughter half the week, living together with Holly and stuff.
You just weren't doing push-ups.
Just why I was actually, sometimes there was a while that we were going to the gym. So, I mean, I factored it all in. I was always busy. I was always tired, but I always made it work. But it was, it was daunting, but there was value in it because I got something out of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't even the piece of paper. Or the knowledge, it was the sense of accomplishment.
I think I've been really toying with the idea of going back to school, man. You told me about Empire State.
Empire State, yeah.
Dude, I get these emails now because I went to look at it now.
Yeah, and they say, put your email. We'll put you on the mailing list. We'll send you notifications or whatever.
But it's weird. Normally I'm fucking annoyed as all hell with that, but when I see the Empire State Sunny College or whatever the fuck it is, name drop, I'm just like, yo, that's really cool. I need to do that. I really need to fucking do that. So that is always on the that's good. It's gonna happen because of that, which is crazy. I think I need to go back to school. That is something I need to do.
Because you were talking about wanting to go for marketing or whatever, right?
Yeah,
that's a great thing to go for, man.
Dude, marketing. But every time I go to that school, I hear them we need more male teachers. We need more male teachers, and I'm just like, dude, I would really like special ed, dude.
Yeah. There's a huge demand for that. There's a huge demand for that. That particular genre facet, I guess, of teaching. For sure, they're definitely in need. I have friends that do it. All the respect in the world. I know that I couldn't. I already know that I couldn't teach whatever quote unquote normal kids are.
Yeah.
Who can just kind of autopilot and do it themselves. And I'm just kind of just disseminating information. when you need to handhold these kids because they're worse than even I was, and I know who I was, I don't know that I could do it.
I was really bad, dude, and I have a little me, so it's good. I know it would be just cakewalk.
Yeah,
which is weird because I don't know. Miss Setter, her name is, would be like, "You're gonna fucking stay after school and drum on that desk. We're not gonna do any homework. You're gonna just sit there and play on the drums on the desk." And I would be like, "Okay." You know what I mean?
This was the thing that happened?
Yeah, I would. That's what I mean.
This is when you were in school?
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was in 7th grade.
So you were in middle school?
Yeah. She didn't swear at me.
Right.
But she was like, "You're gonna stay after school," because I'm telling you, dude, I did not care. Thank you.
Yeah.
I did not care about school. All I wanted to do was play drums all day long. I would sit there and go like this. All day long, I would do it, and it drove every single teacher crazy.
You know what's funny is at Wegmans last night, I had a shopping cart that was doing that with the wheel, and I just kept thinking of Tom with doing the pedals because the wheel was just off enough that it was creating this like
yeah.
Yeah.
A burden of a drummer. Every drummer could tell you this, that the rhythm is everywhere. Like a car will be like, and then all of a sudden you're like, right?
Yeah.
Or like the sync. I think I've talked about this.
The dripping sync. Yeah.
The dripping sync. It'd be like tick 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 tick, and all of a sudden like. Because it's like a perfect tempo.
He's just
like,
layering in.
It's just everywhere. It is friggin' everywhere. Like a door will close.
Like wiper
blades. Something will open.
Like windshield wiper blades.
Windshield wiper. Like, as a drummer, I'm going to give out a secret for psychics. Maybe you'll be able to do it. You might be able to make somebody else walk on the song, on the tempo that you are listening to. It's super funny. Just like,
and how is that? What do you mean?
I don't know. You just like watch people, and then you're listening to the music, and then like the way they walk ends up like falling on the beat of the song. It's like super funny.
All I'm hearing in my head is "Staying Alive." I'm seeing the videos. You're like, you make them walk on tempo. I just see the three of them going.
Yeah,
but that's not even fucking close to the song,
dude. I've like tried to write music that way. Like I would sit outside, smoking a cigarette, and watch people like run by. Like, right, somebody would run by, and I would watch them run, and I would tap the song, right, and it would give me a tempo, and I would try and write a song to that tempo, and then I would listen to it while people were outside and try to watch, and it would fucking work. That's what I mean. Like, I think that's what the Bee Gees did.
Quite possibly,
because it was crazy. Like, imagine like having a song specifically designed for you to run to. Am I onto something here? Music.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. I'll say this just because I know this because of Josh, Josh Makar. When he does running, when he would go running and stuff, there are specific playlists, especially if you run like marathons or long distances, or if you run like 5K, 10Ks. If you're running certain races or just by yourself, there are certain songs that have beat per minute that you want in order to keep a certain minute mile, however many minutes per mile you want.
Oh, that's awesome.
So if you stay on pace with that playlist, you're on pace to run a however many minute mile.
Woo! I need to find that.
There's applications actually. There's apps that I know there's a few of them. I'm sure. I know there was one. I can't remember the name that he was using. That literally like you could put the song in, like you pull it in from your iTunes or whatever, and it analyzes the song, knows what the BPM is, and then can either I think it could manipulate the time, the beats per minute in the song by like stretching it out but pitch correcting. I could be making that up. I know you can do that with certain programs, but this particular app would just let you know like what the beat per minute was and be able to sort of I think maybe it averaged it. So if it was like, if you're running, the plan is say it's 10 miles, all right, you might be a little quicker on this mile than this next one, but that it kind of averaged it out for if you stayed on time with the songs, that you would run that 10 miles or whatever in that within that playlist. I know that those are out there. I can't remember what the hell it's called though. So yes, you're onto something that's already existing.
Son of a bitch, like good bathrooms. Searching for a good bathroom.
There's an app for that in New York for sure. We talked about that before.
Trying to find a fucking bathroom while touring. You're like, where do I just go to the bathroom? Where nobody's around or it's not used.
You just go on Bumble. Hey, do you got a toilet?
Oh my god, that's so funny, dude. Have you seen A Star Is Born? Have we talked about this?
We've talked about it. I have not seen it yet. Still.
Well, there's a scene where he flies her out, right? And it's an arena show, and she's like, it's like a fucking maze, and she's like walking around backstage, and she can't find anything, and it was just really funny. I burst out. I was able to like relate, and I was like, the tour manager was like, "No, this way, honey, this way." And, like, she made the left, and all I kept thinking about was like, "Where the fuck is the bathroom? Like, what the hell?"
When you talked about that before, I wanted to bring this point up regarding bathrooms in arenas, but we got sidetracked. I listened to the Jake the Snake Roberts interview that he did with Rogan. No, it's good. It's real good. Yeah. That guy's got a fucked up backstory. Like, fucked up backstory.
Oh, I'm gonna listen to it.
Bad, real bad. Like, his childhood is the stuff of nightmares. But he was talking about this is after he left WWE, and he was wrestling in some other like international circuits, and he's in Japan, and he's wrestling whoever their big superstar at the time was, and they're in this big like 50,000 seat arena or something. I may be exaggerating. It was an arena, so probably 20,000 seat arena.
Yeah.
And because he had the snake with him, this other dude was like crazy afraid of the snake, right? Mm-hmm. So he made Jake's dressing room be literally on the other side of the arena, like as far away from him as possible. The snake got loose. This is the story he tells, got into the sewer system, into the toilet system, and came out on the other side of the arena in the toilet of the dressing room of the guy who was afraid of the fucking snake. Way. Swear to God, it's the story that's on there. It's on the episode. You should listen to it. It's fucking hysterical. I couldn't believe it. Like, oh my God. Because that's already a terror we've talked about before on this show, with like snake getting caught on your dick when you're sitting there, because it happens with pythons in Thailand.
Or hanging out.
And so he's in Japan, Jake the Snake's, and it's a cobra. It's not even like he had a python at the time. He had a cobra.
Jake the Snake.
The cobra ends up coming out of this dude's toilet on the other side. And he's like, "You did this on purpose." He's like, "Dude, the snake got away, man. I don't know what to tell you."
How would he do that on purpose? You're going to go through the fucking sewer system.
Right. Yeah.
Right? And then...
I thought it was really funny. So that's what I wanted to bring up last time I got sidetracked from
that. That is really funny.
So I have this question for you. And it's a hypothetical. It's a would you rather. And I had some good ones and they all passed out of my head. But I want to try to think of the one that I heard recently. All right.
Would you rather?
Okay. It's a little bit different because you're not in a relationship currently. And it's a fucked up question to ask, but follow me. Would you rather have to have sex with your ex, but her brain is your mom, so it's your mom with your ex's body, or your mom's body with your ex's brain?
I would just jump off a building.
That was one that was on your mom's house. I thought it was so funny. I was dying.
Oh my God, that is messed up. Yeah, I would probably just jump off the building.
Because Tom, he made the suggestion, the same thing to Christina. He said, would you rather, I think that's what it was, would you rather have sex with me, but it's your dad's brain, or your dad, but it's my brain? It's like, oh, that's such a horrible thing to ask.
Yeah.
Jump off a building. Yeah, gotcha.
Kill myself.
Yeah.
I don't think I would do that at all.
And I think ultimately what they came to the decision of is that, because they had a guest on too, basically the same thing. I think it was Josh Potter, actually, the guy who used to be on radio here in Buffalo. He's in California. He's in LA now. He's been a comic out there for a little while, doing relatively well. He tours with Tom from time to time. I think what the ultimate thing was is that they decided that they could do like Tom's brain in her dad's body, because she could just close her eyes and pretend it's Tom, because it's Tom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he could like kind of talk her through it, even though it would be your dad's voice still.
Ew.
It's like, it's me, it's Tom. I promise
Freaky
you,
Friday.
It's gonna be okay. It's like, what a fucking horrible thing to suppose to a person.
Freaky Friday.
Thought that was funny. Just thought I'd share that. Oh, by the way, like I said, not necessarily a Valentine's Day edition, simply because I think Valentine's Day is a bullshit holiday made up by card companies to sell cards and chocolate, which is true. It absolutely is. It's fake. Think about that. When is Sweetest Day? Approximately 6 months opposite of Valentine's Day.
Sweetest Day?
You're not familiar with Sweetest Day?
What are these days?
It's exactly the same thing 6 months later.
You know what's the only good Valentine's Day and Sweetest Day? National Donut Day.
National Donut Day. National Taco Day is pretty good.
Taco Day is
Nacho Day is pretty awesome as well. But we're getting off the topic. That said, I got you a little something.
Really? Oh, thanks, man. Chocolates. And I'm fucking stoned. Thanks, bro.
And it's got a cat on the front.
Thanks. Was I supposed to get you a gift? Was that the whole point?
No, not at all.
Oh shit! I didn't bring anything though. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I knew you wouldn't. Totally fine.
Thanks, dude.
It's got a little kitty on the front.
Fuck yeah. Meow. I'm definitely gonna eat those as soon as I get home. I was gonna eat them now, but I still haven't eaten breakfast.
So I thought about it, and we talked about it. I'm like, oh, we should write each other cards or something and read it on the show. I'm like, he's gonna forget, and I don't have time. So I'm grocery shopping last night, and I see that at Wegmans, and I pick it up. I'm
Thanks,
like, that's
man.
cute. We can share that.
I have an idea. I had an idea. Can I just tell you what it is?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna find like mankind, a good photo of mankind being tossed off the cage, and I was gonna print it and frame it and make it a bathroom print for you.
That'd be awesome,
So
dude.
that's what I mean. I was like, oh shit, I gotta find it now. And like I said, I just got sidetracked.
If you get around to it, I'll still take that.
I do that all the time. I made one for my mom. I don't want to
of mankind being tossed off the top of the cage.
Mankind.
That sounds just like up your mom's. That's Angela's speed all the way.
Mankind. Her favorite wrestler was Rikishi.
Did he die?
I don't know.
I thought he died because he was like really overweight because he was a sumo or whatever.
Rikishi.
But what I was going to say is, so I'm in the line, I'm checking out and stuff, and I see this kid, and I'm sure you can attest to this, the manipulation the children have over us.
Yes.
So this mom and this son, or this little boy, he's probably 7, 8 years old, and they're checking out ahead of me. So at 8 years old, you're in like third grade. You got a little bit of wherewithal in your brain. You're kind of developed enough that you can hold conversation. You can sort of rationalize things, right? Mm. So they're in line ahead of me, and he looks at like the gum and stuff, and he's standing on the front of the cart. He's like tall kid too. And he goes, oh, I've never had these before. They're supposed to be really good, but they're kind of expensive. And he puts it back. And his mom's still unloading the cart. And I know that she's listening to him.
Totally listening. She's like, no,
and then he looks over toward the candy side, like the opposite side. And candy goes, oh my God, these are the best gummy bears. And he grabs like a little bag of Haribo gummy bears. He goes, these are so good. But they're too expensive. And he puts it back. I'm like, I know you're waiting for your mom to go, all right, honey, don't worry. Fine. They're not too expensive. Working a couple of angles. One, pulling at your mom's heartstrings because you're an adorable little kid. But two, well, I can afford that. It's not so expensive. I can't afford to buy you gummy bears. Yeah. It's like, she's like, no. She fucking got him. She totally got this kid. He's like, and he knew. He's just like, it's you're hedging your bets. It's like, when is mom going to be worn down enough at the right grocery store, at the right checkout, at the Walgreens or whatever?
Like, I have all of this shit that I have to make for you today anyways. This is the last thing you're going to fucking
get. It's like a full cart worth of food on the belt. Like not a week's worth of groceries, but enough that it's like, it's for a few people. It's for a few days. It's probably going to run you $90. And it's like,
imagine,
but they're kind of expensive. I just thought, you know what, dude? Good try. Like, good angle. Good try. Maybe if you were 2 years younger, on the cuteness level alone, you might have been able to sell them.
Maybe.
She knows the ruse now. She knows what it is.
Imagine, you know how kids are super fucking gullible. You could imagine still having that trait, never being like, how would I say it? Like, you never grew out of that trait. What if adults were still that gullible?
I know people like that.
Like for instance, like when I was a kid, my mom's boyfriend would be like, yeah, I would be like, hey, are you coming over? And he'd be like, yeah, I just need to drop off the fucking pizza to the Ninja Turtles. And I was like, I believed it.
Oh, not that they're not that gullible, but I know adults that are still pretty gullible.
But but that's what I mean. Like, imagine still being that. Like, imagine being me 30 years old, and me being like, Nick, what time are you coming over, dude? And you're like, yo, I need to like drop this pizza off to the Ninja Turtles, and me being 30, I would be like, what the fuck? The Ninja. Do you know what I mean? I would still like imagine like being that.
Can you get their autograph for me?
I'd be like, dude, Ninja Turtles? I'd be like, are you serious? If that was a real thing and like 30 years old, like no, I'm not delivering pizzas to the Ninja Turtles. I'm like super disappointed.
I think that I find most that it's not that I'm finding adults that are that in such a childlike juvenile way. It's just that they lack such imagination and that they don't understand sarcasm.
Yeah.
I find that a lot, where
poor guys, poor people,
poor as in like or poor as in like no money.
I did it.
I didn't see.
Clip shift. It's hard. Cardistry, people.
Cardistry.
Yeah, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Just like they don't. I'm trying to think of an example of, and it's people like that I've worked with, where he'll say something to them and they'll go, "Oh no, it's not like that at all." All right, here's the example that I can use. Canadians, right?
Uh-huh.
Waiting tables, going over to the table, and make them that classic joke where they've cleaned their plate and it's like, oh man, you didn't like that at all. And they'll go, oh no, it's really good. Why?
Hey.
Exactly. Yes. Hey, are you fucking kidding me?
Canadians will be like, oh, have a good sleep. I hope you, it's time for sleep. Have a good sleep.
Yeah.
I'm like, good night.
There's those. Yeah, whatever. And that's a cultural difference thing. That's fine. It's like,
hope you take a good sleep, and it's just funny.
Co-opting certain French words for things.
Yeah.
It's like, depending on what section of Canada you're from. But the whole, like, not just getting general sarcasm, I find that a lot with them. Now, I'm not saying it's exclusive to them. I know people I've, again, worked with people who have the same issue. I'm thinking one person in particular. I'm not going to call this person out, but they're just so... They don't get it. They're not just it. They don't get anything. They just don't understand. They completely and utterly lack self-awareness.
Oh, I want to eat some chocolate, by the way.
Yeah, open it up. Completely and utterly lack self-awareness, and it's like, so it's that sort of. It's still very much in the gullible sense.
I know somebody like that,
because there's people who lack self-awareness who still, they're not gullible necessarily. They're just like verbose and awful. But this one person, it's a he. He's just so, he's oblivious. He'll stand like right fucking next to you and talk to you. Say, hey man, what's going on? He came into work a couple weeks ago and he was right next to me, right? I'm facing the computer and he's to my right side and he's sort of facing me. And he goes,
oh my God.
This cough, right? Spittle all over the side of my face into my ear canal. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? He goes, what? I'm like, you just sneezed all over me. He goes, oh, that was a cough.
I can't see
That was a cough was his answer. Not, oh, I'm sorry.
I can't see you
That wasn't a sneeze. That was a cough was his response.
Yeah. Wow.
And that is a single instance of the shit I deal with this particular individual.
That was weird. That is gross, bro.
My GM the one day is like squatted down trying to grab something off a shelf, and this dude walks right up to him, dick level to his face. And my GM goes, can you take a step or 10 back from me? He's like, oh, what? I thought you needed some help.
No, not that close, man.
And just completely and utterly lacking self-awareness, 110,000%.
I know somebody like that, but I don't mean it in like a derogatory mean.
In this way, I do. For this dude, I can't fucking stand the guy.
I don't mean this in any way, shape, or form negatively. So don't. If you are listening, don't take offense to it.
This is gonna be good.
They'd be like, I'm a really good driver, dude. I'm a better fucking driver than you. Driving through a red light. Do you know what I mean? Like, this has happened on numerous occasions, like screaming and yelling, not screaming and yelling, boasting about driving, but like, like
just yelling at you.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he's like talking about how he's a really good driver. I'm a really good driver. And then this day the light turned green, but he made the left and just while talking to me, just made the left while the light
turned green through the intersection, but cut somebody off who was supposed to be coming straight.
Yeah, and the person was like slammed on the brakes, started honking the horn, all while talking to me about being a really good driver. And I was like, dude, are you kidding me? Really?
You almost just killed us, you dumb son of a bitch.
He's like, no, that's different.
That's different.
No, it isn't.
That's different. That's a instance where I just almost murdered you because he's taking a left, so you would be the one to get hit. Yeah.
I also know another person like that, and I do mean it in a derogatory way. They'll be like, how would I explain it? And I think you know who I'm talking about. I made the comparison. I was like, they are the type of person they'll go through your house, right? And I was like, how can I explain this? I was like, they'll go into my house. They'll take my hammer. They'll walk out to your car and smash your car with my hammer and say, well, I didn't do it. It's his hammer. That's this person, dude. Do you know who I'm... No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, and singer dude.
Yeah.
Like that's the two.
There you go.
And then
it's out now.
Well, this is the two-parter, but these
right.
The other person, but the other person, not singer dude, is how I came up with this analogy for it. I was like, and I said this to her, and I was like, explain that to me. I was like, that's just the type of shit. I can't stand that stuff. But like, I don't know where we were going with that, how that came up.
Just people with lack of self-awareness.
Yeah.
Right. And then so this person is so oblivious to their own reality that they're changing reality and bending it around to make it whatever their reality is, when in reality it's not reality.
It's just weird.
Sorry,
I would be
that's
like,
a lot of reality.
How does that make sense? Like the whole...
Because that makes sense to them. That's how they justify it in their brain, because there's something wrong with it.
I guess, but that's what it is. They'll take your hammer, smash somebody else's car with it, and then they'll be like, I didn't do it.
It sounds familiar to another argument that I'm not going to get into because we already talked about it today, but it has a parallel to a similar argument that happens from certain people when certain events happen, and then certain people on a certain side go, well, this thing needs to be changed because these things are the things that are bad things, and the people on the other side go, well, it's not the thing that did it, it's the person who used the thing that did it.
Yeah.
Without going, if you get it, you get it. I'm going to leave it at that, but
what?
You know,
we did talk about that. You looked over at the War of Art.
So I started rereading it, and I believe I definitely mentioned it on earlier episodes. Oh, by the way, guys, all episodes of the Apartment 83 podcast are available on YouTube. All the current episodes, all the way up through 32, including the Christmas episode, which doesn't get viewed very often. It's the only one. There's the video of Tom and I hanging out. You should fucking check it out.
All fucking
it wasn't bad. We're wearing hats. It was a good time.
Oh, I did it again. Sorry.
Clip switch?
Clip shift.
What's clip switch? What am I thinking of? Is that
Switchfoot?
No, that's I'm thinking something different. Anyway, they're all up and available on our YouTube channel. It's the Apartment 83 podcast on YouTube. This one will probably go up later this week, but they're all available there. So I know that currently the website only hosts the most recent 20. So for download from the website and for streaming, only the most recent 20 are available. But for download, as far as like a podcast goes, audio version only, but they are all available on YouTube. But I know I mentioned in the past this book from Steven Pressfield called The War of Art that I got into because of Rogan talking about it. I started rereading it again, trying to sort of reignite the flames, the passions in me to move forward with projects and with what we're doing with this podcast and our other content that we're looking at creating, and just sort of to reinvigorate. And I just have it out, and Tom saw it, and he's already read it. I forgot that you'd already read it.
Yeah,
but you said that it fucked you up, kind of.
Yeah, it fucked me up, but not in a way of like a bad way. I mean, to an extent. I don't want to give anything away, but
well, it's not like it's a spoiler alert. It's not a
no. He talks about the ego.
Yeah.
Right. And how it's kind of not. I don't know how to explain it. He talks about the ego and how it's not like sometimes it's a good thing, your ego, but I wasn't aware of my ego until I fucking read that book, and then that's when I started noticing a lot of weirdness, and I was just like, I couldn't finish the book. It was weird.
You notice weirdness how? Like with your ego?
Yeah, it was super odd.
Like what?
Like it was almost. Oh, see, I don't like it because I feel like I had it at bay for a minute.
Oh, so you're
yeah.
I'm opening the. I'm unzipping you over here, dude.
Dude, it's weird because like I wasn't aware of it, and like. So like I'll finish something, and then at first like I couldn't figure out why I couldn't finish it, and then I read the book and I was like, oh, okay, it's my own. I like the comfortness. So
the concept of the book is there's this thing called resistance. That's what they've named it, and resistance is the thing that is trying its damnedest to stop you from doing what it is that you want and or need to do.
Yeah.
It takes many different forms. It takes many different opportunities that it can in order to try to suppress you or make you think less of yourself or question yourself. And it's just the concept of everything in this world, including yourself, that's against you, trying to prevent you from doing what you need to do.
Yeah.
I don't know that Gary Vee has read it. I would assume he may have, but I'll tell you, the way that guy lives his life pretty much is exactly how this book goes. It's like, fuck resistance, do everything 110% of the time. Yeah. There's a chapter in there about the difference between an amateur and a professional.
Yes.
And the professional is a person that even if what they're doing isn't what they want to do, they go to work every day, they show up on time, they do the job 110%.
The professional is there, but he's not.
Yeah.
Is what
and the other thing too is the professional does what they do for money, and an amateur does what they do for the love of it. And I might be slightly wrong on that iteration, but it's about that same concept and how it does go into how do you take what you do for the love of it and turn it into what you do for money to be a professional.
Yeah, and what also was stuck out to me was he said Madonna employs whatever her name is. It's not the other way around. He said she's not Madonna all the time, but Madonna employs Madonna. That's what it was. I thought it was really cool. Yeah.
So she employs her. She employs her
she knows
character.
She knows the difference between being Madonna and herself.
Oh, so it's like being on. Are you on all the time? Like,
Yeah.
Like Robin Williams, was he on all the time, or was he ever, was he ever not on?
Yeah.
It's like stand up when you go and you see him on stage and they got this great show, and are they ever not that person? A lot of them are always. A lot of times are not that person.
No, dude. Funny you bring this up. I think we talked about this too. Seth Rogen and Knocked Up. Did we talk about this?
Yeah, we have touched on that. What specifically though?
Oh, never mind. I think we did talk about this. He wasn't the original.
Right.
Michael Cera was.
Michael Cera, yeah.
Cera, whatever the fuck his name is.
He was supposed to be it.
From Scott Pilgrim, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a scene where him and the director...
And I don't see him and Katherine Heigl hooking up in a club.
No, I think that was the whole point.
Way less fucking likely.
But
than even Seth Rogen.
But he got into a huge fight with the director, and then he was flipping out. It was like behind the scenes, and all the crew members were laughing at him and thinking he was acting, but he was actually pissed. He's like, "Oh, it's funny, right? It's funny because the funny guy's pissed." So it was just
right.
Really
so is he or is he not kind of thing?
Yeah, it was like I could tell.
Is this are you putting us on? No. Michael Cera, you're such a card.
It's so weird. Have you ever seen some of the? I feel bad for some of those actors, dude. Like some of the interviews that they go on. Like there's this one. They must have been. What's his name? There's Michael Cera and Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill, yeah.
They're doing Superbad, promotion for Superbad, and he's like, the one guy's wow, I can't talk. I'll cut. The one guy is asking Jonah Hill like all these horrible, mean questions.
Dude, I've seen the supercut of that where it's like a bunch of different interviews with him, where it's like about him being fat.
Yeah,
it's like, so how is it to be the fat friend? Like it was, and I don't know if it was put together to be taken out of context.
They wanted him to get like that. They do that shit all the time.
Yeah,
it's so weird. Like,
but it wasn't like your local affiliates. It was like sort of whatever quote unquote major news outlets were doing these. Where you do a press junket. And you're in a hotel room. You're in like one of their small ballrooms or whatever, and it's just a revolving door of all right, E! Entertainment's here to talk to you now. Okay, now BuzzFeed's here,
dude.
Okay, now USA Today is here. And you're just sitting in this chair wanting to fucking murder people because you're answering the same questions the same way.
In New York, we just want to fucking kill ourselves. It'd be like, all right, we got to do this, then we got to do this, or we got to go to that interview, then we can have lunch, but it's only like a 20-minute lunch. Then we got to go to this interview, then we got to go to this, and then you get to the shows. Panic at the Disco was getting so big at one point back in the day that they had 4 cordless phones that like had to travel with them because they had to do phoners all day long. Yeah. It sucks. It's so lame. Like you'd just be sitting there, like you'd walk into the green room and everybody has to be quiet because he's sitting on the phone. Like it's just so gay. Like
it's so fucking stupid.
Sorry for using that,
yeah, just the way that, I don't know, the way that those press tours go, it's just awful. I've heard so many actors talk about, especially actors who haven't been doing it forever. If they're kind of new to it or something, you've been doing it a little while, maybe you've got a couple movies out, and you're on this tour with these people, and it's just like you just keep answering the same questions because they're all asking the same stupid questions.
And what sucks too is those dudes, Michael Cera and Jonah Hill, they were in fucking costume. Do you know what I mean? Like, that dude was like how that's gotta suck not being able to be yourself.
Yeah, that's they always are you going to be are you this character? No, I'm not this character. This just happens to be my big breakout role, but I'm not this person. That's how people get typecast and stuff.
Right now, I'm dressed as a character, but you're asking questions to fucking Jonah Hill. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck you. It's like they get that bulletproof glass, but I don't. Yeah. Oh, that would suck. I feel for you, Jonah. I'm sorry, brother.
It's just fucking terrible, dude.
They get it. Oh my god, that would piss me off. That's pissing me off right now.
Yeah.
Like there was a dude, like he's lucky he got fucking lost in the sea. There was a dude whipping quarters at Singer Man, and we couldn't figure out where these shiny things were coming, right? Mm-hmm. So I'd be playing drums, and all of a sudden I'd hear a quarter smash off my cymbal, or like a penny. Do you know what I mean? Like would just land on my snare drum. And Richard Simmons at the time. Not the Richard Simmons.
Oh, I was gonna say.
he was our drum tech, and we were like, "What the fuck? Where is all this shit coming from, Adrian?" We're all looking around. We can't find like where all these quarters are from. And dude, it must have been like the perfect timing. Like, I just looked up, glanced up, and I saw the kid's arm go up. He threw it. The recorder caught the shine in the light and fucking smashed Sean right in the face. And I saw the whole thing. And it was like perfect because I took we stopped in the song. I took a drumstick and I fucking whipped it. And it went right past his face. I was so close.
Who, the kid who threw the quarter?
Yeah. It was just the most perfect thing. But we couldn't find him after the show. And I was like, he was like pegging Sean all night long up until that moment. But it was just like.
Did you see that? I'm sure you had that
one.
Got
the fuck away.
It's a little bit different. That one video, I've seen it on Facebook a few times. I don't know who it is. It's a singer for some band, and he's out in the crowd, and people are holding him up. He's standing up. His feet are in their hands, and he's standing. And somebody throws a fucking beer at him, like a cup of beer, and he catches it full, and he fucking drinks it. Have you seen that? Just whatever it crushes it.
Yeah.
I was like, I just hope there's nothing gross in there, but that was still pretty fucking cool.
Cool rock star for sure.
Hey, Instagram.
Hello.
Tom and I are live right now. Well, we're not live. We're recording this live, but we figured we'd say hey while we're in here. And all of the episodes are available, 1 through 32 are all available on our YouTube channel, Apartment A3 Podcast. We're going to leave this on here too, because we're super professional.
I like this. We're talking. It's like people can hear the noises are around.
Yeah.
If only we could smoke pot in here.
Saving that video. I'm going to post it to the story right now. Anyway.
If only we could smoke pot in here, Nick.
Not in the house, sir. Not before they make it legal. But yeah, I just, what was I going to say? Oh.
I'm gonna go. I'm fucking reading that whole thing today.
So I have 2 bookmarks. I have where I left off and where I started and where I got to when I started rereading it. I'm not far off from where I was. You can see it's pretty close. But that's just, I don't know. Like, I started reading it, I felt all energized and stuff, and then I got broken up with, and shit went sideways. And I'm like, like that was my own fault, and then I just whatever. That's a whole that's covered in a different episode. But it was stupid cheap too. I got it on Amazon for cheaper than it's $12.95 US. I think I probably got it even cheaper than that on Amazon.
I went to Barnes & Noble.
Yeah, you know what, dude? Not a huge reader just because I'm a slow reader, but it's stupid. I love going to Barnes. I love going to a bookstore.
You should read graphic novels, dude. And I got down on some graphic novels, and then what ended up happening was I started longing for books.
I long for you.
It's kind of weird. I'll lend you Batman: The Long Halloween, but I need that back. That's my favorite thing.
I would definitely read that. Yeah, my daughter has tried to get me into graphic novels forever. She would let me borrow hers, and you should read it. And I'm like, yeah, I will. And 7 months later, I'd give it back to her.
The Watchmen was amazing, dude. What else was sick?
Her and my brother have a pretty decent collection of them too.
You should get into some.
They're always just like, you should read these. I'm like, okay.
The Walking Dead ones were amazing, and then the show came out, and I was like flipping out, and now I don't give a shit about the show.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't know where I left off, but it was early in the second season. I just stopped.
I was talking about this with my mom.
I am almost finished with Breaking Bad finally, though.
Oh, wow.
Forever later.
Yeah.
I'm going to start a Better Call Saul immediately after, though.
Better Call Saul.
You were just talking to your mom?
About The Walking Dead and how the first 3 seasons were amazing, and now it's just okay, 7 years later.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
How is Angela? How's your mom?
She's good.
She's good. It's good.
She's kicking around in a robe.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. her morning robe, you know.
Yeah. I haven't seen your mom in forever. Seriously, it's been forever. It's been years.
Really? Didn't you I feel like you just saw her the other day.
Oh, yeah. She was outside for half a second.
Yeah, shoveling.
We kind of went, one of those, waved high real quick.
Shoveling.
Well, she wasn't shuffling.
I said shuffling because I have a deck of cards in my hand.
Not a one-track mind by any. That's the problem. We don't have one-track minds. Our minds are fucking everywhere.
Gone.
Yeah.
Tie-dye shirt.
Definitely more coherent than last episode, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. All right. Well, I think we can actually probably wrap this up today. Yeah, we covered a lot of stuff. It's good. I'm loving this. Not McDonald's so much, but I'm loving it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen to me good music. Stay positive. Fuck this weather. And smoke
don't
pot.
even get me started on this ice. You know what? I'm not going to get started on. All I'm saying is this weather's bullshit. I can't wait till it gets warm outside. I got 170 something days until Disney. I can't fucking wait. I'm super excited.
I know. I can't wait for this fucking summer.
Dude, we're going to hang out. We're going to go out with the kids and we're going to go to the park and
build cardboard forts.
We're going to make them sit and we're going to go down the slides ourselves.
Yes. Yes.
Cardboard forts. Card fight boards?
Card fight boards.
Yeah.
Sweatpants boner.
Sweatpants Boner. Whenever anybody asks me for a good band name, like, dude, I need a band name. I tell them that.
Boner.
Nobody ever uses it. They are always like, oh my God, that's great. I'm like, you're not going to use it. Like, well, I'm not, but it's still really good.
Sweatpants the fuck boner.
Sweatpants Boner and the San Jose Canseco's. Shout out to Fat Kid. I'm going to put that in the tag.
San Jose Canseco.
The San Jose Canseco's.
Oh, that is
Scott made up that name, I want to say in middle school. Like, it's been
San Jose Canseco.
It's been over 25 years that has been a name that he invented. And I don't know that it's ever been a thing.
San Jose
Canseco's. It's fucking great. Everybody, check out Tom on Tom is Alive on Twitter. Tom Falcone on Instagram. Nick Huber on Instagram. The Apartment A3 Podcast on Twitter. The Apartment A3 Podcast on YouTube. Again, all the episodes are now available, up to including the last one, episode 32. I'll continue to try to keep those updated for you guys. Please somebody hit us back with some kind of feedback. Text us, send us a message, email. Texting. You know what? There's just something.
FaceTime audio, everybody. FaceTime audio us, because that sounds way better than normal.
It sounds way better than the normal phone call, for sure. But hit us up. Let us know what's going on. Tell us we suck. Tell us something. Somebody respond.
I'm okay with we suck.
It's getting a little bit tiresome fishing out when I talk to people like, oh yeah, no, I heard it was pretty good. Like, I happen to be talking about the fact that I'd done an episode like, oh yeah, I listened to yours the other week and blah, blah, blah. Like, just fucking, we work together every day. Like, just
yeah,
shoot me a message or something. Hit us up. Everybody, take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Be good to one another, because it's pretty much all we got on this fucking planet. Did we just end the podcast? I fucked up the ending. Peace.
I didn't know you were doing the ending.